So if you struggle with your chip shots around the green, maybe you struggle with contact, distance control, just nerves because you get a bit jittery and you really struggle, don't worry, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to bring you in on a live lesson with Tom. Tom, in his own words, is saying, look, Danny, I just get nervous of my chip shots. I duff them. I generally bring out putter most of the time because I'm scared stiff. By the end of the session, we transformed his short game, and it could help you too. Now, before I get into the lesson, if you're new to the channel, so your first videos of mine, please consider subscribing. I release videos just like this every single week to try and help you improve your game. Plus, you never have to remember a thing. I'll always put a downloadable practice guide in the description box below. So come and join me now, and let's see how Tom gets on with his short game. So Tom, tell me a little bit about your short game.
Inconsistent, honestly. I really struggle with distance control. The strike could be thin, could be fat. It's, again, not consistent.
Yep.
Honestly, on the course from here, this is putter all day long.
Really?
All day long.
Okay.
There's no way the wedge is coming out the bag for this.
And why is that?
My worst putt is going to be far better than my worst chip.
Got it. So is that because you really do you struggle just with the contact, consistency of contact?
Consistency of contact, consistency of, is this going to reach the green? Is this going to be too far from the green?
Yeah.
It's my objective from here to this near pin would be next shot is with a putter.
Right, okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It's not to get it close. It's
And if we could get it close, we could probably save a few shots.
one or two.
Okay, come on then. Let's have a look at it. Let's see what we're working with. Where are you aiming here, by the way?
Dead at it.
Dead at it. Okay. So do you see that there's a break, like left to right here, maybe? Or does that come into your mind whatsoever?
I wouldn't tend to read a break on a chip.
Okay.
Which is probably a course management issue.
Okay, cool. Because you do know when it lands, it's going to roll. So it's going to roll somewhere, yeah?
Let's find out.
That's a pretty good strike.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's a pretty
It's
good.
on the dance floor.
So that's
objective achieved. Next shots with a putter.
Okay, so that would be you'd be quite comfortable with that kind of strike.
Very happy with that.
Cool.
Very happy with that.
But that's kind of like, so there's an inconsistency of distance.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Okay. And then when you try and hit it a bit softer, we get a bit of that.
There's no contact, yeah.
Okay. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to secure contact every single time, right? So if we get consistent contact, we can then start working on distance control, okay? So a great contact with a shot like this, okay, is when you strike the ball, then the ground just afterwards, okay? So we need a slightly descending blow, right? Now, what we do at setup is going to make a big difference on this, okay? So if you get yourself set, I want to show you something. So, what do you notice about where your left shoulder is and where your right shoulder is in terms of their angle? Which is higher?
Right shoulder's way higher.
Right shoulder is way higher than the left shoulder, isn't it?
Way above.
Right? Now, what's that, in terms of angle of attack on that golf ball, how are you going to hit that, do you think, from that shoulder angle? Upwards. Exactly, right? So you're already hitting up, so you're going to have to, now in order to put any downforce on that ball to strike it, you're going to have to do some weird stuff, right? You're going to have to manipulate it.
Movement,
exactly, right? So what we're going to do here, the first thing I want you to do to help secure contact is this. Get yourself set, ball position's fine, it's very central in your stance, maybe almost back in your stance, right? Pause there. What I want you to do now is this. Stand up for a second. Okay, stand up to face me. Okay, simple exercise. Put the club out in front of you here. Just put it straight out in front of you. Okay. Now at this stage, relax, put your arms a bit close to your chest there. Okay, there you go. Just get a little bit of a cup in that wrist there. Okay. And then from here, just hold the club with your left hand. Okay. We're gonna have slightly ahead of the ball. Here at this stage, your shoulders are where?
Pretty straight.
Now level.
Yeah.
Now what I want you to do now is just with the shoulders level, I want you to simply drop down to the golf ball. Does that feel like a very different place?
That's a very weird place.
Okay, right. Now what this is going to do, when you start to level off those shoulders, you're going to start to help you create more of a what?
Downward
angle of attack, right?
Angle.
So we're going to strike slightly down on that golf ball, so the club's going to finally ground out just after the golf ball, and you're going to secure contact. When you're back here, you're going to be basically already starting to hit upwards on that shot. And then what you do to try and stop that, you pull your hands forward like this, and drive it like a cricket shot. You follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so straight away, relax, level off the shoulders, right shoulders slightly lower, okay? Don't push those hands too far forward, just there, just there, okay? What do you notice about the height on that now?
Much nicer contact.
Look at the control on it lands now.
That's almost gimme range.
Yeah. So can you see, when you struck it before, you had no backspin. It went off like a bullet.
Yeah.
As soon as you've done this, that ball's popped up beautifully softly because you've come down on it with a beautiful amount of loft and it's popped up and you create a spin.
That's a weird feeling.
And if you want, there's different routines you can do, okay, with this, okay? Some people prefer different things. So you got this one here, okay? Another routine would be to go cack-handed. So swap your hands around.
Okay.
So go cack-handed. What that does is lower the right shoulder, yeah, for you as a lefty, right? Don't put those hands too far ahead, just there, right? Now, keeping that shoulder where it is, put the hands back to where they were. That's another way of doing it.
Tuck the elbow in.
Now, as you're doing this, okay, I want you to keep visualizing an angle of attack that's going where? Slightly downwards, okay, all right? There you go. Now watch this. Feel more comfortable?
Very nice.
Okay. Did you hear a little bit of ground before there?
That one wasn't as nice.
Wasn't, was it, right?
The last one wasn't as nice.
Okay, so what I want you to watch out for is this, okay? So here's the thing. Now you're starting to get set up, you've got an idea of what we want to try and do, okay? This is the next important thing just to think about in your swing, okay? You don't want your body to go backwards. If your body goes backwards, what's that going to do to the grounding?
Shallow it out again.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So that you know, one of the things, when you start to strike the ground, a lot of people get fearful of the ground, so they start to kind of move away from it. I want you to let the club fall into the ground. So we're going to do a few exercises where actually here, you're swinging back, and as you're coming through here, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that you stay forward. We're not going to let our heads go backward at all. So just imagine almost like something's just on your left ear here. You can make a swing, you're going to come down, and you're going to stay forwards, okay? You're not going to go backwards, okay? Again, all this to improve angle of attack and contact.
All right.
How's that strike? You feel like there? Can you see how it's starting to grab? You hear that noise? Ball first, a little bit of check, yeah? Brilliant. We're going to make it tougher in a second. We're going to go slightly longer ones in a minute and get you going up in the air. Right, that was an awesome sound, wasn't it?
Awesome connection. Just put a bit too much.
Just hit it too hard. Yeah. So we're going to go into distance control in a second. Okay. And again. Is it making sense though, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, really. It's. I think it's the key bit for me is having the routine.
Yeah.
Of starting to address the ball. It's okay. First, address the shoulders. Right. Address that. Right. Now think about the hip.
Yeah.
Not having too many swing thoughts.
Yeah.
Weight forward to stop myself leaning backwards.
Yeah. Now pause there. Now when you push your weight forward, this is crucial, right? What you do sometimes is you push your hands a long way forward, and what you do is you start to do this.
Okay.
See that there? And, and this is important. Can you see how your wrist has actually kind of gone almost flat?
Yeah.
So a really great thing to test whether your right shoulder's nice and low. Look at this. So if I was to hold your club, this is a really good guide. Now you're a lefty, right? But it will do. So if your right shoulder's low, you'll have a little kink in this right wrist.
Okay.
See, so it's almost like a bit cupped there, like this. But if I watch this, if my right shoulder's high, watch what happens to my right wrist. It's bowed, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now what you've got is you've got a shot which is powerful, too powerful.
I'm back to my my cricket.
Exactly right. So exactly. So if you lower your right shoulder just a little bit here like this, you'll see that there's a little bit of a kink in my right wrist here, and that's a great thing just for you to kind of have reference before you play.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you hit the shot.
Okay.
Beautiful. Listen to that sound there. Now watch this. Feel good? All right. Okay, let's make it a little bit tougher. You can see here a trickier shot. We need a slightly higher floated shot, maybe with a bit more backspin to stop it. It's all downhill. It's very close, difficult to get it close. So what's the routine you're going through now to try to improve your strike? What is that routine?
first off, making sure my shoulders are leveled.
Yep.
Kink in the wrist.
Yep.
Little cup.
That kink there adds the loft, gets the bounce working in the club. If that you take that kink out, you've de-lofted it, and what you do, you've now got too much ball speed.
And
It's going to go low and fast.
Yep.
Yeah. So that kink here does two things. It increases the loft, but it also, by lowering that right shoulder now, is going to help you with your angle of attack too. Okay. So just keep, even though we want height, we still want the angle of attack going down. A lot of times when we hear people go for height, they try to lean back and lift it, right? Trust that the angle of the attack and the loft of the club will get that ball up in the air. Okay. Just like that. Listen to that sound. Yeah?
Direction needs a bit of work, but
Direction,
But I'm happy with the result.
Definitely. Look at it there. It's pin high.
Dangerous
right?
outplay.
And so we want to be down the left-hand side. It's going to kick in from that right-hand side. But in terms of strike,
Over the moon.
brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the moon.
And this is probably as tough as it's going to get in terms of pitching it up onto the green, right? Now, that time there, that's come off fast. Now, what do you think you've done?
Did I let my shoulders back up?
Yes.
Yeah, it noticeably came out lower, a little bit
Yes.
hotter. It didn't quite just pop up.
No, and it didn't pop up because
Yeah.
you'll see here, you've gone backwards. So
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
caught it a little bit thin, yeah?
Yeah.
On another day, that could have been fat as well. You didn't leave that this shoulder down here so that you
Keep
could
the
let the club, look, drop on that ball. Now watch this.
Just keep the shoulder.
Don't drive the handles forward. If you drive the handles forward, again, you're adding too much ball speed. The ball's going to come off. Look at this here, look. I'm allowing the club here, look. Gravity of that club to drop down on that ball. Watch this. I think we'll take that.
Closest one.
As good as we get. Okay, well, I've got one more shot to
Closest
show.
one.
We could move to 60 for this last one to give you a bit more elevation, a bit more stopping power. But
Let's try.
But don't change a thing, okay?
Same shot, just
same
different.
shot. And then what we'll do is I'll
Okay.
show you very quickly how we can then start to play maybe a slightly lower running one with a slightly different club.
Okay. Shoulders off,
Shoulders level.
wrist kinked.
Yeah. Watch this. And does that stop to a bit quicker?
A little bit higher, a little bit
A
shorter.
little bit higher. And that's what a 60 degree is going to help you do. Okay, let's just play one more. Let's play a slightly more running shot and I'll see what the difference is between the techniques. So if I was to change you here just for a second, give you a 9-9, okay? And all we do for this shot to the middle is play, it's just the same type of principle. You don't change the setup. We still want to have a downward angle attack. But what you're going to do is you're going to pick roughly a landing spot, which is going to be maybe 2 or 3 paces onto the green. It's going to curve. Can you see the green?
Nice bit of left to right.
Left to right. So we want to be aiming left of the flag, right? And it's going to curve from left to right. So get yourself set to this one, okay? And just play the same thing, but just with a 9-9, right? Now it's going to be clear, it's going to come off faster. So you want to be looking at something, your focal point, where most people get wrong, focal point needs to be landing point, not flag. Most people struggle with distance control because what they're doing is the last thing they look at is the flag. And really what you told your brain is that's where my target is. So you then end up swinging the length
to the flag.
And then you either decel because you know it's too hard, etc., right? So yes, read the whole thing, but the last thing you look at is the point at which you want the ball to land, okay? There you go. Watch this. You see?
Chase right up there.
You follow? Right?
Beauty.
Watch this. Go in, go in, go in. Oh! Does it make sense?
So close.
Yeah? All right.
There you go.
How simple is that?
It's a lot easier than putting.
Yeah, it is, exactly right. So just make sure you always visualize when these type of shots are very, very, very low trajectory type shot. Beautiful. Just leant back. See,
A little bit to the right.
You fell back a fraction, which has been you closed the fish and dragged it, but it's still look in puttable range.
Still great little pitch.
All right. So massive thanks to Sadiet Golf Club for putting us up for the day. But look, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more lessons like this, live lessons with students struggling with a driver, iron play, you name it, check this playlist out right here. If you want to learn how to get out of bunkers, check this one out right here. And of course, look, if you're new to the channel, press that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future videos. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.